Hello everyone, this is Kira. Today I will introduce you with a Bollywood movie, and my project name is Family and Homeland: Soft Power and Cultural Identity in the Bollywood film Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham. Here's my agenda. I will introduce you about the Bollywood or the Tollywood, and the identity and the emotional projection among the Indian expatriates, and the soft power and the cultural export of brand India, the conclusion and the questions. So the Indian films include the Bollywood and the Tollywood. Let us to distinguish about the Bollywood and the Tollywood. The Bollywood belongs to the North Indian films, and the Tollywood belongs to the South Indian films. For the Bollywood, its language is Hindi language. For the Tollywood, it's Telugu, Tamil, and other multilingual versions. And the main cultural background of Bollywood is about elite families in the North India, emphasizing the hierarchy and filial piety and festivals. And for the Tollywood is about imagining ancient Indian kingdom and blending with the Indian epics with the local folk mythology. The narrative for the Bollywood is about family drama, romance, and a lavish visual presentation. And for the Tollywood is epic heroism plus action fantasy plus mythology elements. And the main audiences for the Bollywood is Indian expatriates and urban middle classes and female audiences. For the Tollywood is about pan-Indian mass market, rural audiences, and male audiences. The direct the director for the Bollywood is made from the Mumbai, and then for the Tollywood is made from the Hyderabad. And the emotional thesis for the Bollywood is about family identity, the filial piety, the cross-cultural identity conflicts, and for the Tollywood is about loyalty, revenge, nation building, faith, and heroism. Then dance and music for the Bollywood is about North Indian style romantic ballads and festival dances. For the Tollywood is about epic background music combined with a large scale choreography and battle scenes. And channel distribution channel for the Bollywood is about international cinema release plus diaspora markets plus global recognition of global of Bollywood stars. And for the Tollywood is about multi-language versions plus international streaming platforms like Netflix. And culture exports methods for the Bollywood is about demonstrating a soft power through the modern urban life and the traditional rural India. Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham is clearly the North Indian film is typical Bollywood production, and it's used the Hindi language, and it serves to the upper middle class family values in the North India. And the K3G construct the idealized image of Indian through their family, kinship, and a cultural identity and emotional belonging among the global Indian diaspora. The Bollywood and diaspora identity. The appeal of Indian cinema may stems from the perceived cultural affinity, which is constructed through the inclusive discourse, cultural identity, or an imagined community. And the K3G is explicitly targeted to the expatriates through its storytelling, like London to Delhi, and language switching, Hindi to the English, and a character identity in RI, and a visual presentation like Indian festivals and religious rituals. It features not only traditional Indian clothes and cultural symbols, but also incorporates modern urban styles and lifestyles, like Western lifestyle blend with traditional Indian values. For example, the protagonist, who plays the male lead, lives in the West yet upholds the Indian family values, embodying the idealized identity of Isle. The Bollywood films create an imagined culture belonging space for the overseas Indian expatriates audiences through the emotional storytelling and visual style, activating their identity and emotional connections during the viewing experiences. The youngest son Rahan in the Kabhi Khushi Kabhie Gham, who grew up in the UK and decided to return to India to find his father and brother. This plot twist is not only a turning point in the story, but also the cultural symbol of returning home. The Andersons believe that the nation exists because the people imagine themselves belonging to the same collective as millions of people they have never met through the language, text, rituals, families, and other media. So the culture symbols of Kabihushi Kabigom, like Indian wedding rituals, enable global Indian audiences to share emotional experiences, the authority of mothers and fathers, and ethics of respect of elders. The protagonist's emotional attachment to India is serves as an ideal identity for diaspora audiences to project themselves into. The Indian brand and a soft power culture output. The concept of soft power itself requires us to consider about the interaction between media narrative and their audiences in different contexts, which may be international or cross-cultural. So K3G is not only achieved the highest box office success in India, but it's also achieved the tremendous success in UK, North America, and Germany. The content and plot of K3G not only incorporates the traditional Indian culture but also blend the Western modern aesthetic sensibilities, which is a key factor in this overseas success. That is, audiences do not need like sufficient accumulation of Indian culture carried out to easily understand or even immerse themselves into the foreign culture atmosphere. The conclusion is, through the film Kabhi Kabhi Gum, we can see that Bollywood is not merely entertainment, it is an important component of Indian soft power. It helps overseas Indians maintain their cultural connections and present an ideal image of India in the whole world. However, it is important to note that the audiences may enjoy Indian films while simultaneously harboring deep distrust towards India. While the culture and entertainment projects often stimulate tourism, but India's tourism industry has not experienced the expected boom. Here are my two questions. The first one is Kidriti is regarded as an emotional space where expatriates establish cultural belonging. But when this cultural belonging is packaged as a film product, does this authenticity still hold? And the second one is, does Bollywood's soft power influence have diversity? Or does this merely reflect the specific values? So whose India is being imagined and exported? Here are my references. And thank you for your watching and listening. Have a good one.